Welcome to Ancient Assyrian Props and Costumes. I'm Donald Barkho, and today we'll be talking about the Apkallu costume. Come, huddle around the fire and warm yourselves. And let me tell you a story of the Apkallu. On this journey, I will tell you a bit about what I know regarding them. Apkallus were the sages of ancient kings, the kings of Assyria. According to ancient legends, each king was assigned an Apkallu by the great gods. Divine beings, originally emerging out of the waters by day and mysteriously vanishing back at night. Some said they took the form of fishmen, others eagles' heads upon a man's body with wings. Yet still others believed they came in the form of men, with wings not unlike our angels of today. These are their types that still speak to us today through carved images made by the ancient Assyrians themselves. Bucket in one hand, cone in the other, rituals of purification they perform to protect and sanctify our kings of old from the evils of their world. Sages they were, renowned for their knowledge, bringing with them the gifts of the May. What are the gifts of the May, you might ask? And to that I shall reply, wisdom of ancient days. It is the knowledge of building cities and temples, performing rites and rituals. It is the wisdom of science, mathematics, geometry, and astronomy. It is the knowledge of farming and agriculture, canal building and shipbuilding. It is the wisdom of writing, record keeping and accounting, the knowledge of kingship and administration of the lands, the wisdom of laws and canons to administer justice upon the lands, the knowledge of carpentry, blacksmithing and stonemasonry. And these mentioned are but a few, for it was them that brought the gifts of civilization to mankind. Even the greatest of kings paid special attention to them. Great, so let's get started and have a look exactly what are the elements to an Apkallu costume. The foundation to any ancient Assyrian costume is the tunic. There's two types of tunic, a long tunic, which you usually see the king and noblemen wear, and a short tunic. And here I'm spotting a short tunic, as you can see, comes down to my knees. On top of that, you layer on a short shawl, and you see the fringes on it in the reliefs on top of the short tunic. And on top of that is your larger shawl, and this particular large shawl goes from your waist down to your ankles with a nice fringed border. It's got two layers, and this particular style is based on ancient reliefs from Sargon's times. Now let's go into the other element, and that is the broad belt. And Assyrians love their broad belts. I can't stress enough how much they actually love their broad belts. And they were comprised, as in my case here, with some fabric wrapped around. Then you've got your actual broad belt, and it's held into place with your narrow belt. In that narrow belt are tucked 2 daggers, and beside it sometimes you see another element which looks like the handle of another smaller dagger. However, upon further research, it has been found that that is actually a whetstone. And a whetstone was used to sharpen the knives so that they remained very sharp, ready for use whenever you needed to. The next elements I'm going to talk about is some of the aspects of jewelry. Now, in this case, we've got our wristlets, we've got our armlets, and our necklace. And this necklace was actually a choker. You see it, it's usually composed of beadwork, and the Assyrians used gold beads as well, and the other beads would have actually been made out of stones. So you got lapis lazuli stones, you got the red stones, and I think personally that the beauty of beadwork has been forgotten largely, and it's a very understated trade that would have been from back in ancient Assyrian times. Now, these rosettes are based on Sargon's reliefs, and what you see here is that sundial kind of look, and these ones are also based on Sargon's reliefs, the armlets. As we've seen in reliefs from ancient Assyrian times, you tend to see the Apkallu with sandals, and here I'm sporting a pair of sandals in the Sargonic style. And on the outside, they'll look like an Assurnasirpal style. The lacing system here in this case has actually been based on an ivory carving that was part of an article that I read, which was on actual ancient Assyrian ivory carvings, and one of those had the upper half missing and the lower half was preserved. And on that lower half, because it was a 3-dimensional carving, you could actually see the foot and the way that the lacing of the sandals were made, and that's what this particular sandal style is based on. So that's enough on sandals, but we can go into the crown, and this is the horned cap of power. It's always been referred to as the cap of power of arms. And as you can see here, it's got the horns. Personally, I think they would have been goat horns, but it is possible they could have been bull horns as well. The goat horns tend to be shorter, and we know that the ancient Assyrians made goat sacrifices as well back in those days. Now here's a fundamental issue that I have with wearing this horned cap of power. Here I've specifically mentioned that this is an Apkallu costume, and I'd like you to understand the difference between a king's costume and an Apkallu's costume. And that is the crown. And as you can see here, you've got an ancient Assyrian king's crown. And what you see on top of my head is the cap of power, the horned cap of power. I'm starting to see a trend where they're using horned crowns as part of their king's costumes. Now this horned cap of power, you do see it in reliefs, but never on the head of an ancient Assyrian king. You see it on the heads of ancient representations of deities. You see it on minor deities. You see it on mythological figures. You see it on winged bulls, human-headed winged bulls. You see it on human-headed winged lions. You see it on the Apkallu figures, which is a man. You see it on an Apkallu figure, even the horned crowns on the fish head. And it's important to be able to get an accurate representation of what's going on. Because I think personally that it's the height of arrogance in today's society that you would put a horned cap of power on your head as part of a king's outfit. I can see where it is a problem, and that tends to stem from the modern day representations and artistic drawings of ancient Assyrians. where they tend to draw Assyrian kings wearing this horned crown. It has been mentioned to me that this was worn by high priests. Actually, the high priests were the Assyrian kings. So the Assyrian king functioned as the role of administrator, as head of the army, and also as high priest of the god Ashur. Okay, and what we have now is the final element to this Apkallu costume, and that is the fringed baldric. The fringed baldric can be used as part of a nobleman's outfit, but in this case here, I'm using it to wrap around my body, and wrap around my body, and then come up and over the shoulder. And that concludes the Apkallu costume. Thank you, Royal Guard. Your help is much appreciated. Now, as you know, I'm just an Assyrian having fun, mate.